But yeah, what's going on, y'all? I got another video. I'm back with another one. I see y'all liked the last video I put out. The content was, I guess y'all received it well, and some people didn't. They said my commentary boring, or he said something like that. I'm gonna bring the little comment up for y'all. That's funny, but hey, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not, I'm here for a reason. It is what it is. But we got Iyanla Vanzat with the Nick Cannon interview. I seen a little clip and I feel like I wanted to get into this. We gonna watch it together. So I see y'all liked how I did that the last time. So we gonna do it again. And here we go. Let's start. Let me see. Hold on. Oh man. There you go. Okay. My bad, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor, privilege, and pleasure to be joined once again by the Honorable Dr. Yamla Vanzat. Yeah. Can I call you? Yeah. Am I allowed
Yes,
to
you can
you?
call. You have to ask my son, but I think
Yeah,
he
yeah.
might let you.
Yeah, I love that's my
Yeah,
mother's
I like
mother,
that.
right? Is
Yeah,
that what that?
mother's mother. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so all your grandchildren call
They
you.
call me yeah.
That's awesome. Because nobody wants to be called grandma no more.
Really?
My mom is like, don't call her grandma.
Nah,
Nigga,
nah.
why would you
Yeah,
say that?
Nanny Beth, Nana,
Okay.
like all of those. And
This nigga stupid. Why would you say that? Come on now, Nick Cannon. Come on, man.
yeah,
Fifi's another one.
yeah.
Well, most people call me Iya because Iyanla is not a name; it's a title.
Okay.
Iyanla means the great mother or the mother of the village, and her responsibility is to provide for the spiritual, cultural health of the community. So it's very interesting. People running around naming their children Iyanla now, not understanding.
I like that. I didn't know that. So I just learned something too. I didn't know that. And I like that. That's a whole nother side that I'm gonna get into at some point. Not right now. I ain't gonna deep dive into the spiritual side of stuff because it's real, man. We focus on the physical and what's tangible, what we can feel, what we can see. Well, really, the real stuff in life is the stuff that you like. It's not tangible. It's not the stuff you can touch and manipulate physically. But I don't. That's a whole nother thing. I'm gonna get into that in another video. But man, it's a lot. We gonna get there though. I'm a slow walk, y'all, but we gonna get there.
Responsibility
Yeah.
that they are putting on that soul. So Iya simply means ma or mother.
That's powerful. So let's
is.
talk about the village in this session.
Well, let's talk about it, but let me
Oh,
ask
you go
this.
Doc, I'm on your couch. Go for it.
Yeah.
Because
So and when y'all see me responding, I don't know of this lady. I don't know who she is. This is my first like time seeing her any of that. So I don't know who she is. But we gonna keep going.
first of all, to me, you're one of the youngins.
Yes. I'll take
So
it.
I always
I'll
pray
take
for
it.
you and look for you,
I need it.
and when things happen. And I remember when you made a statement and you got kind of beat up really bad, and then
See, and she referring to when he said the stuff about the real Jews and all of that. That's what she referring to right now, and I like her already. She getting into it. You see what I'm saying? I like her for that, but I want to see what she got to say about it.
the situation with your children and people and have their experience of that. But I look and I hear, I don't have the judgment. I just don't have the judgment because I didn't make you. Your soul has a contract. Those children have a contract with you, and you, all of that. That's none of my business. Here's my business. How did that feel? How did it feel? Not what did you think about it, not what did you do about it. I never heard anybody ask you, wow, how does that feel?
Feels like a lot of pressure.
Which part?
All of it. But specifically different kinds of pressure. Does the pressure
Before we get into it, I don't. That's the thing too. Pressure. I don't like pressure because it's like I don't like that because it's like it's pointless. I ain't even gonna get into it. Just go on. Yeah.
of healing and figuring it out in the public eye, accepting my imperfections, but in everyone else not. And then the ultimate pressure of just fatherhood in general.
Yeah.
Not understanding it because I didn't come up in the typical Orthodox household. Wanting to overcompensate, wanting to be a super dad, and then still being judged for my process while figuring out the process. Like, I was like, I don't have it all figured out yet. I'm trying to. And so that pressure, I never like to use the word overwhelmed because I'm not overwhelmed.
Well, let me define it for you from a spiritual perspective. Overwhelm is trying to convince yourself that you can do something that you don't actually believe you can do.
Exactly.
And I think you believe and intend to
Do.
be a father,
Yes.
be there for your children, even if you're not in continuing relationship with their mother.
Right. And then, like I said, we'll unpack all of that. But I think, I mean, that's a great question, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the sincerity of it. Because people don't ask me that, or even when people do say, how you feeling, they don't really care. They just making sure, it's like, almost like, are you going to be able to maintain what you've been
No, I'm
maintaining?
asking you, how did it feel?
That's the thing too. Like people be fake. They come to you. They, how are you? How you family? What's going on? They don't really give a fuck. They don't care. It's just like people like to just talk for some. I don't understand it. I never understand that. Like people will come to you just to talk about nothing, for nothing. Like it look like it's for no reason on your side because you probably don't understand it. But they got a purpose for whatever they trying to get out of you or whatever. But it's just weird to me. That's why I stay away. You know, I don't do a lot of the people stuff. You know, I'm not around a lot of people because it's just like I like who I like to be around, and I keep it like that. Small circle is, you know, that's the best way to keep it.
For you to have, first of all, your personal, well, a human stumble, I think in the comment about that was considered anti-Semitic.
Right.
To me, that's a human stumble, you know?
And again, in a sense, I mean, it was a growing moment, it was a healing moment, but to then be attacked by multiple cultures of...
I got to comment on this because, like, I seen that anti-Semitic stuff, and that's the thing I don't like. Like, with the anti-Semitic stuff, I didn't see nothing anti-Semitic in what he said. I want y'all to go look at what he said and then come back and let me know if maybe I'm wrong. But to me, I see that and I look at it the same way. Like people be like homophobic or transphobic or all of them, you know, them terms of phobic. They put phobic behind anything, and it's just like it means like scared of. Like you know, I'm not against nothing you saying or nothing you do or whatever. Just if I say something that's not in agreement of what you're saying, then it's a problem. And we got to get out of that. Like, we can have discourse. Like, I can say something and you can say something. We don't have to agree. But as long as we come to an understanding, that's all that matter. As long as I understand you and you understand me. I don't have to like you, agree with you, whatever. But as long as we got an understanding, then it's cool. We can move on. But people just, nope, you got to agree with me and you got to be on my side for it. And shit get lost in the process.
Trying to figure it out.
And people say far nastier things than that at Bubba's barbecue joint in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, you know, on either side of the road.
And that's the thing. And I mean, I've created platforms, and even, you know, while creating council culture, and, you know, I have solution platforms with the ADL and so many different things. But it is, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but it is the responsibility of strong voices.
Yeah.
And so I know I have a strong voice. For whatever reason in life, people pay attention to what I say. They're fascinated by my life.
They're nosy.
Yeah, but also I've been outspoken, you know,
Yes,
throughout my years. And, you know, sometimes I look back at a lot of these interviews.
Hold on, I ain't gonna lie. Them some big ass boots he got on. Damn. Them boots big as hell, boy. What the fuck, nigga? What you on, man? My bad, y'all. My bad.
Spoken,
Yes, you have
throughout
that.
my years, and
Big
sometimes I
bulky
look
ass
back at a lot of
boots.
these interviews and things that are going viral and
Hey,
cringe. I said that, or I mean, but at least you'll be able to see the growing process of who I'm becoming as a man.
And that's what I see.
Yeah.
From what I tell you, when I woke up at 1 o'clock this morning and Drumline was on. So,
Getting them residuals. I
right.
appreciate it.
hell no.
But when I was asking you that, how did it feel, and how did you feel? People counting your kids and
Yeah.
counting the relationship. Where do you take that? What do you do with that?
We talked about
She seemed like is she a therapist? Cause she seemed like a therapist type. Like the way she's speaking and like it's more like a therapy session. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Like I think she a therapist though, right?
you brought up in our last session inadequacy
Yes.
in a space of even who I am supposed to be. I've done many things. I've been doing this for over 3 decades, and there's been expectations. There's been great achievements. But as I sit here as a man in his 40s,
I gotta pause it. I like to pause it. My bad, y'all. But I gotta get this off. He just said who I'm supposed to be. Like it's somebody that we supposed to be in his lifetime. I'm not gonna say that, but I do agree that it is a reason or it's something that we supposed to do while we here. I don't know if it's a specific person we supposed to be. I don't know if I agree to that, but I do believe that it's a certain reason that we are here for something. For it's a reason. Like it all connects. Like I feel like we all here for our own reason, but it's not for our own. It's not like to benefit of ourselves. It's more so of for all of us. It's something that we would do that benefits everybody. That it affects everybody. It's not just like I'm here for me, and no, I don't believe in that. We are connected in a way. We are connected.
and the common conversation about me is, me and my my fertileness, or what relationship I'm in or no longer in, or who I'm dating. And when I feel like, when I'm thinking legacy, when I'm thinking all that I have to offer, if that's the main remembrance, if that's the thing, which is great, like I want to be remembered as a father, and that is my first priority in life. But I feel like even in the space of my career, I have so much to offer, from spaces like this to the arts, to the opportunities I've provided for many other artists. But the day-to-day conversation, the thing that goes viral, the thing that people are constantly talking about is
That's the lowest common denominator,
Yeah.
though. And here,
the low frequency of it
yeah,
all.
right, and that's what keeps people occupied in your life and negligent of their own.
Mm,
Negligent of their own.
right.
I think you have 10 kids, 11,
Yeah,
whatever.
see, we'll go.
Not-
I'll go whatever you say.
I'm not saying
Damn, we
that.
got
We'll
that
go whatever
many.
number you pick.
I did a show with somebody that had 34.
You know what's funny too, and like there's like a screenshot that they put my face on, or like
With
they,
him with the doll
with the
babies.
dolls, and they always put my face on it. They've been waiting for this moment. Like they thought you was gonna bring the dolls with you. But no, I mean in that sense, and we want to talk about this because even in the space they said right now, there's over 17 million, children that are in, non-nuclear households.
Right.
With, however it is, single parent, however you choose to define it. And I want to, there's 2 terms that I want to unpack. The first term I want to bring up is, a deadbeat dad or deadbeat father. I hear that a lot. I hear that term thrown around
About you.
about me and many others, of just men that, may not be in your traditional relationship. And then the other term that I hear quite a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna get into the deadbeat part because I don't think he a deadbeat, but he's not a present father. Like, if that makes sense. So he's not a deadbeat because he's still providing, I assume, in some way. I'm assuming. I don't know his situation or what he got going on with them, but I'm assuming that he's providing financial stability or whatever they need financially. Cool. Because at the same time, that happens in regular people's lives. Like, you can grow up with both parents and not have a relationship with them. Like, they could be deadbeats because they probably provide for you financially, but you don't know your parents. You don't have a relationship with them. It's like, it's certain, you don't have to be. They can be there, but they not there. They work all the time, whatever it is. Or on the other side of that, your parents could be there, but you're not getting what you need financially. So, it's always going to be a flip side to everything. You always going to want whatever you don't have. And it's just like, you could be considered a deadbeat for that, or you could be considered a deadbeat, for something else. It's different. It's different ways, because that's just something that I've noticed, though. But
Is a broken home, creating broken homes. I struggle with those things because obviously I don't want to be associated or a part of either one of those. But in asking you, if these terms do apply, I mean, I want to take accountability for them, but I want to know what we feel the definition of those are, and then not only just for myself, for someone who may not be in your traditional or conventional relationship, how can we be the best fathers to our multiple children, or how do we mend the broken households that we may have created?
I come out of
for that, I ain't gonna lie. I would like to say it's impossible to be, because you can't. If you got multiple homes with kids in different places, it's close to impossible to be there for all of them. Unless you figure out a way to get them all in the same house, you will never be that. You can never do that. You can't be in two places at once. It's impossible to be a father, a good father, if you're not in the home with those kids. To those kids, it's impossible. It's impossible. Because it's time. You got to spend time. And you already can't spend time because you got to work. So now you add work, 8 hours a day, plus you got two different kids. It's only it's 24 hours in a day. You got work, sleep, and then you got time with them. Two different places. That's a job, and it's impossible. Like, you got two kids, one kid over here might get all the time, and the kid over here might not. So you can be that for one of them, but you can't be that for both. And he got however many kids, it's not happening.
non-traditional household. My mother was the other woman.
Mm.
My father lived around the corner with his wife.
Wow.
My mother lived in my grandmother's house, my father's mother's house.
Wow.
Okay, so I come. And what was most devastating for me in all of that, I mean, this story has lots of twists and turns, was that nobody told me the truth. I think for me, and everybody has to define this, for me, a deadbeat dad is one who doesn't honor.
Let me pause. My bad. Like, I got to get this off because I've been thinking about it. I don't know if y'all seen my face, but I was thinking about it. It's like, you really can't be a good or a present dad if you got kids in different households. It's impossible. You can't. You will never be a good dad if you got kids. You can only be a good dad to one of those kids, not both, is what I'm trying to say. It's impossible. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Provision, or doesn't provide provision for his seed. And that doesn't have to be, I'm sure, the way you provide for your children. But my father didn't know if I had shoes or food or whatever. That's why at 70, I live alone with 2 refrigerators because of the
You want
number
it
of
all.
days I was hungry.
Without.
And he wasn't there. For me, he was a deadbeat dad. I knew who he was. I knew where he was. He didn't provide for his seed. That is the first thing
Yeah, that's
that I
deadbeat.
believe a father has to do. Number two, I think that a father has to be a demonstration of what I call AIM: accountability, integrity, and mastery. Those 3 things.
Yeah.
My father wasn't any of those.
It's interesting for the first one that you touch on, because I get this quite a bit personally. Because as we all know, I've been blessed. I'm financially well off. And that instantly, that becomes the conversation quite a bit. It's like,
Because
oh,
women,
he can just, it don't matter if he can buy houses and G-Wagons and all of that stuff. It's about, that doesn't make him a good father.
but didn't I say in the first session that we did?
It don't. No matter what you buy, you can't buy being a father. You can't buy moments. You can't buy time. This is the intangible things that you can't. You gotta actually be there and be present. You can't see your son or your daughter first steps if you're not there. Looking at it from a camera or a video is it's not the same as being there and watching them crawl and then walk. You see what I'm saying? Watching them trying to stand up and you see what I'm saying? Catch his balance. It's different. Teaching them this how you do this how you know, if you're not there to do those things, that's where that title father comes from, being present. You know, you could never be you can't be considered a father if you just buying shit and throwing it at them like, here, throwing money. Like, it's not being a father. That's being a provider, but you're not a father. You're a provider. You financially there, that's a provider. You provided for the kid. Cool. If that's what you want to do, do that. But that don't make you a father. A father is synonymous with time. The time that I'm spending with you, the time that we bonding and we growing together, that's what a father is. I'm teaching you about life. I'm watching you grow and helping you grow. You know, we experiencing life together. Because you still growing as an adult as your kid is growing. So as a father, like it don't matter how much money you got. You can never be a father if you're only there financially. That's a provider. Those 2 separate things.
That fatherhood, that women look to men to what they can do. What can you do? So it's not that that's where you've been reduced to. That's what's expected of you.
Right.
Because there are many men, I've worked with a lot of them, who want to be a father to their child, but because they can't write a check, they're not allowed to. Let's have that conversation, okay? There are many men who want to be in their children's lives, but because the woman is so, and this isn't, not a condemnation of my sister women, but because she's so bitter and disappointed and angry, upset because she didn't make it with the man, that she will deny the child its father. I've seen it. This is not something.
That's a real thing too. Like, the relationship didn't work, so now I'm gonna use the kids against you. You ain't gonna be able to see your kids. You can't do nothing. I'm gonna make it hard. I'm gonna make you go through hell just to see them since we ain't work out. That's a real thing, and it happens. That man is not a deadbeat. If the mom is making it hard for the man to even be around and spend time with his kids, and she's making it difficult for no reason, she using every resource she got. The law, all of it is behind, like, it's helping. That man is not a deadbeat because he wants it, but you putting barricades and barriers and obstacles in his way. He'll never be able to be what he's trying to be. He can't. You can't force your way into your kid's life. You can't. Because as soon as you force your way, what's she going to do? Restraining order? Oh, I seen it happen. It happens. You got to talk to people. See, these is real situations. So it's, it go both ways.
Nobody's telling me, nor is it a judgment or a condemnation. So it's a very complicated matter. I don't think a father is deadbeat if he's not allowed to be in relationship with his children.
That's what I
But
just
if he
said.
has the capacity, if he has the ability, and he has
He choosing not to.
the responsibility, and he doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
too many of our young girls are, ravishing themselves with drugs and sex and all kinds because daddy never tucked them in at night.
Mm. And that,
Too many young men are using a gun, and their penis as weapons because daddy didn't give them another model to be. So for me, a deadbeat dad is a man who doesn't provide for his seed when he has the responsibility to do. A man who doesn't walk in his truth. Who doesn't walk in his truth, whatever that is. I don't care if he's a bus driver, a grave digger. Let your children know who you are through your presence, not through your pocket.
I
again,
was
you're
saying.
talking about the village. There's a certain
That's what I said. Through your presence, through time, through actually being there. That's what makes you a father, not the money, because it's the relationship, it's the bonding, it's that whole experience, and you experiencing life together. That's what makes you a father. Raising your kid. That's it.
in tribalism where it was associated to where like you can have as many children as you can take care of. Like
Yeah,
you know,
that's not tribalism. That's culture. And what if I don't know? I can make it up any way I want to since I'm a guest on your show and you
That's
invited
why
me.
I don't agree with that. You can have as many children as you can take care of, because you got 10 kids, right? You take care of them, they financially good, but they don't have a dad, they don't have a father. So all 10 of them kids they gonna do whatever the fuck they want. They don't have no guidance. They confused. They grow up to be adults, and then what? They just threw into the world, and it's no structure for them. They don't have no path to follow. They don't have nobody to look up to, and that's how they start looking at other people who in the same position. I'm looking up to somebody else who didn't have a dad or didn't have somebody, somebody that they looked up to, and now we following each other. That's it. It's a circle. You gotta have something to look up to. The dad has to be there. Like, just because you take care of him, who is, what are we producing? You see what I'm saying? What am I producing? My kid got to be better than me. That's it. Got to teach him
What if
something.
you are the reincarnation of some great king?
come on, Doc, cook on them. Cook something.
Okay.
Let's
What
cook.
what if you are and you've come back to work out maybe some things that you didn't do in that lifetime,
Right.
but you did do in this lifetime. So you come with the throne, you come with the wealth, you come with the capacity, you come with the
Now you
village.
talking my talk. You making me feel better in
Well,
this
now
section.
I'm just saying, what if? I don't know. So,
I see what you're saying.
maybe instead of being upset or, people they looking at, well, thank God he's got the money.
Right.
Thank God he's got the platform.
Right.
We know those kids are going to be taken care of and provided for. I don't know what your soul is working out. And those kids chose you.
Yeah.
Whatever their soul needs, you're going to give it to them. You and their mothers.
Well, what I can tell you my soul is working out, and so I can be a little revealing in this moment, is I do struggle with the idea of, not the idea, with the purpose. Just like even what you said was so powerful. It's like, there's a reason I'm in this position. And
the reason you have those children.
right, that's even all together. It's like, because I want to do my best, and when I find myself in my therapy sessions and the times where it does get scary, is walking in my purpose is my day-to-day goal. But when that purpose is thrown off, specifically in fatherhood, I get concerned. I get, because it's not even about the outside chatter. It's not about, people's opinions about me. I clearly could care less what people actually think about me, but it's more the things that I often struggle with is, and I think somebody put it this way, it's like, when your daughter asks you why, what is going to be your answer?
Why what?
I mean, why so many children? Why weren't you monogamous with mommy? Why did I choose the lifestyle that I chose?
What would be your answer?
When
Answer
I had the ability to choose a more traditional lifestyle, or even was in a traditional setting.
Is that in integrity with who you are? Are you in integrity with yourself? When you wake up in the morning, do you say, I am, Nick Cannon, and this is what I believe in, these are my values, my this, and you're human, you're going to stumble.
I see where she going, and I just got to speak on it. It's like I agree with what she's saying too. It's like as long as your intentions, like that's the other thing. It's like as long as your intentions is pure, and what you saying and your morals and everything is intact, and you honestly feel this way and you believe it. Like it's not something you just tell yourself and you just you heard it on social media. Something. No, it's not nothing like that. It's something that you really feel on the inside, and you sincere about it. Like it's just like, no, I really like this is how I feel. Don't let nobody take nothing from you. Don't let nobody take that from you. Don't let nobody tell you that's wrong, you're not right. It don't matter what they gotta say. Because if you feel like that, you truly feel like that on the inside, it's that got something that's more than what we know. Like that's something that we don't focus on and we don't understand. They go back to the beginning of the video when I said like the things that I said about, and it's crazy how that worked, but when I said what I said about how the intangibles in life, because we so fixated on the stuff that we can touch and you see what I'm saying? The stuff that we can manipulate, but in reality, that's only half of life. The other side of life is the stuff that you can't manipulate. It's the stuff that's on the inside, the stuff that you feel, but you kind of don't have a reason for. You don't understand it. It's like it's happening, but you don't see it happening. You just know it's happening though. Like this air, you see what I'm saying? Like for us to breathe this oxygen, stuff is happening. We not in control of it. I can't see the oxygen that I'm breathing, but it's still happening. And that's the other side of the world that we don't understand and we don't pay attention to when that's important, because we missing that. And that could explain so much stuff. But like I said, we gonna get into it. We gonna get into it. We gonna get into it.
The fall,
Right.
I'm Iyanla. I am the great mother.
Yeah.
And my job is to facilitate the evolution of human consciousness. One mind, one body, one life, one spirit at a time. But if Law and Order doesn't come on soon, I'm going to smack the taste out of somebody's mouth or punch him in the throat.
Right.
I need some Law and Order.
Right,
okay,
right.
because I'm human.
Right.
Okay? Are you in integrity with yourself? And my father, who was married, had 3 children with my mother, and then went off and had 5 children with somebody else that I met one day on the corner on the way to some. I didn't know these people from a can of paint.
That's
And now all of a sudden I got brothers and sisters, and we never did. But because he wasn't public, no. Do you know how devastating that was to me? I was devastated to know that I had brothers and sisters that I had never seen or known, and then when I get famous, they wanted a check. Stop it. Okay?
Right.
Devastated. And now he's dead. No explanation, because he didn't live in integrity. He didn't tell the truth. He lied. Do your children know each other?
Yes, they do.
All of them know each other?
Yes, they
Are
do.
you accountable to yourself?
Right.
Do you have elder men, brother men, your psychologists, whoever?
I ain't gonna lie. I like her. What's her name? Yaya, Yay, something like that. Whatever it is, I like her. I like how she think. I like how she puts stuff. I like where she comes from when she speak. Like it's from a place. It's definitely from a place. It is, and it's not. Like, it's hard to explain, man. I wish I could explain it to y'all, but it's just like y'all probably get it because if you watching this video, you understand what I mean. So I ain't even got to break it down too much. My bad.
Mother, know who you are?
Yeah.
Is is what you do on a daily basis. I'm talking culture here now.
Right.
Is what you do on a daily basis. Do you make your grandmother proud?
Oh,
Are you doing anything that you were ashamed for her to know?
nope.
Have you been able to take your children to see their great great grandmother?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking accountability, we're talking integrity, personal integrity, cultural integrity, familial integrity. Now, if you can master your sex life, I think you'd do a little better.
I'm trying to figure that one
Oh,
out,
this
dog.
ass master is
I don't
sex
know.
life.
We'll touch on that because what is it about men in my position who I always call it, and this is the downfall of many of us, the access to excess.
Human. You're human.
When I, like,
But the access to excess, I want to break that down too. So when you say that, I look at it as any other thing. It's like, because at a point in my life, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to have a lot of kids, different, just, but to get back on track to what I was saying, it's like the access to excess is like, I look at it like any, any, anything that you do, it's like to overindulge. You see what I'm saying? It's like with anything, too much of anything is no longer a good thing. You see what I'm saying? If you, just because it's there, don't mean be greedy and over it. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. I take that I put that into everything. So it's just like gluttony. Like, don't overeat. You see what I'm saying? Just because the food is there don't mean overstuff yourself and your body. And just, it's the same thing. So just because you have the option to do something, don't mean do it. Because it's not always the right choice. That's all.
so if I was just, a truck driver from San Diego, California, my lifestyle would be different. Specifically my sex life would be different.
And I said that earlier. If he was a truck driver, whatever, it's the same situation. You just because you have a lot of different kids and you're not there, it don't change how you looked at. You just looked at with a magnifying glass because you a celebrity. You see what I'm saying? It'll still be the same thing with you. That man, he got the same shit going on. Y'all are providers, but not fathers. It's a difference. He's providing, but he's not a father. It's okay.
So,
Oh, I mean, I'd probably still be Adam the way but it probably wouldn't be in the same sense that I wouldn't have the access to since
you'd have the access to the excess when it comes to the sex life.
Right.
The punanis are just running rampant all over you just see them everywhere. They
Hey.
just throw themselves over.
That is true. So let me put it like this thing. I would say that my means in the world in which I've created for myself gives me the accessibility to be, promiscuous. And
Again, you have that option, but just because you have an option don't mean to overindulge in what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I already broke it down, but you see it's the same concept. You just got to implement it in whatever. You see what I'm saying? Because I know that's in the Bible. Like to overindulge, that's in the Bible. Again.
apologetically, and I don't know in the grand scheme of things. I mean, this is a father of many, and even still living the lifestyle that I'm living. I don't want it to be my downfall, but even the perception, and again, I don't want to focus on what people think, but even in my day-to-day process, it's definitely limited my bandwidth. It's definitely altered my focus at times. And even times, so much, even there's been times where different psychologists and practices have told me that I need to be celibate. Practice abstinence to, there's one time people thought I was sex addicted, but it's like, it's not that what I learned that I was addicted to. I was addicted to pleasing people.
Yes. I was going to say the very same thing.
Yeah.
And now, see, as a woman, I was on the other end.
She was addicted
My
to being pleased.
promiscuity resulted in me having the children without the father. As a neglected, abused, sexual, physical, emotional. I too was promiscuous as a young girl, and it resulted in pregnancies that didn't come to fruition, and ultimately 3 children that I did have and raise. And when I began to dig into it, a couple of things. Number one, I grew up in a time, in a period, and maybe it's still today, I don't know, where sex was a demonstration of love. And I was so unloved. I was just unloved. I felt unloved. My father died when I was 30. He committed suicide. My father never in my life, I have not one memory of my father kissing me, hugging me, or telling me he loved me. And the uncle who raised me, who I lived under his roof, who, was a
That's tough. Now, see, that's tough because as her dad, she calling him her father, but I don't think he was much of a father if he didn't give her no love, hugs, kisses, none of that. It's hard. It's hard. How can you do that if you, with your daughter, you don't show any affection? I don't know. That's something for another video. I don't want to. I like to go off on tangents. I don't know if y'all know that, but I go off on tangents quick, like in a split second, and I can keep talking and talking and talking. But we don't. Let's keep it going.
alcoholic who probably said 10 words to me in his entire life. I love you being one of them. So when he raped me, I thought that was a demonstration of his love.
See? And again, so in situations like that, that's something for another video. I'm gonna have another video, and it's gonna talk about how. And I'm only speaking on my community because I don't talk about other communities. Cool, it happened in other communities. I understand that, but I'm speaking about where I come from, the community I'm a part of. But the rape, the pedophilia, the molestation, how all of this stuff happens, and it's kind of considered normal. Like you talk to people and you start, because a lot. I don't want to say normal, but it happens a lot. It's common, and it's just like it's made to be normal. Because the more people you talk to, it's like, dang, that's crazy. You understand that this is something that happens in almost every household, and it's a conversation that needs to be had. This is something that got to be touched on. It got to be, because it's not normal. That shit shouldn't be happening. But we gonna get into that on another video. I got y'all. But
So I was on the other end of being promiscuous, A, wanting to feel loved, and number 2, because I was shuttled around to so many, my job was to make people happy, to please people. And as a young, vulnerable, black, red, brown girl with absolutely no woman demonstrating to me who I was and how I was supposed to be, I just gave myself away. Then so by the time I'm 21 and understanding this, I'm totally unworthy. I'm dirty. I'm filthy. I'm broken. And nobody wants me. So the first thing hobbling along on the crutch, I married it. To bring worth and value to myself. Oh joy, oh rapture. So if I don't speak that, however, nobody knows it. I've written about it.
Right.
Because, Nick, my love, my beloved, the only reason people are talking about it is because you're public. It goes on every day. I was a victim of it, and I lived it. Here's the thing. Do your work. Heal it up. So that when your daughter asks, when your son asks, not these freaking crazy people on social media who
Right.
probably, like I said, pay attention to your life so they can neglect theirs.
Right.
You want to be able to say to them, I can say to my granddaughters, I spent more than half of my life trying to get my daddy's approval in the bed with other men. I can say that. My father never kissed me. Never told me he loved me. So any man who told me he loved me, oh joy,
She
oh rapture,
accepted it.
let me
Yeah.
go home with you.
Right.
Okay. So
I'm gonna pause it right there because I don't want to have a too long video because I don't know if y'all watching the full video, the full length, but this I actually like her, Iyanla Vanzat. I hope that's her name, but I like her. I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna tap in and I'm gonna do a little research and find out more about her, but I definitely I can. It's something about her. That's auntie, man. That's auntie. But yeah, we done with this video, y'all. Like, comment. I want y'all to comment y'all thoughts. Tell me what you like, what you think I should do better, what videos y'all think I should do and review and do this on. Cause the more y'all tell me, the better I get. And yeah, just I'll be back, man. We out. Oh shit.